Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 18U Championship here at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. One final game for these 18-year-old Team Venezuela and Team United States here in the World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament. It came down to a coin flip to decide the home team. The United States winning the flip and electing to be the home team in this one. So it's going to be Velasquez on the mound for the United States. For Venezuela, leading it off, it's going to be number 44, Angel Porras, the shortstop. First pitch from Velasquez is a fastball in the corner, and that's how things get underway. 0-1 count on Porras. It's going to be Garcias and Rodriguez due up for Venezuela here in the top half of inning number 1. 0-1 pitch, fastball swung on and missed. And now Velasquez ahead in the count, 0-2. Both the United States and Venezuela steamrolled through bracket play. For the United States, those victories over teams like Mexico, Canada, as they found their way here with one of the highest run differentials in tournament history. 1-2 pitch. Curveballs on the inside part of the plate, and the count now at 2-2. Venezuela picking up that win to open the tournament. That was on Wednesday night over the Dominican Republic, and they have continued to win ever since. Porras able to work the count full. Velasquez set. 3-2 pitch. That one's on the ground short. Field it cleanly. Throw over to first is in time. And that's going to be the first out of this 18U championship game. That's going to bring Brandon Garcias to the plate. The center fielder for Venezuela, number 20. One out here in the top half of inning number 1. First pitch from Velasquez. That one's on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly. The throw over to first in plenty of time. And that's going to be a quick out number 2 for the United States. And it'll bring to the plate number 32, Larry Rodriguez, the left fielder. Defensively for the United States from left to right, it's Petrelli, Machado, and Martinez in the outfield. Across the diamond, it's Cartwright, Villani, Jones, and Flynn. Doing the catching duties is Alicea, and on the mound once again is Velasquez. 2 outs here in the top of the first. A pair of ground outs to the left side of the infield. And now it's Rodriguez at the plate, who shows bunt, but pulls back, and the count now at 1-0. U championship game just finished up, as there's a swing and a miss, and the count now at 1-1. It was the United States against Venezuela, so back-to-back U.S. versus Venezuela here in the championship at the main stadium. United States holding on 4-3, able to get the victory in 7. As there's a fastball that will skip off the catcher's glove. And the count now at 2-1. So even more at stake here for both teams. The United States looking to sweep the 15 and 18U championships here at the main stadium. Venezuela looking to avenge their 15U team in this one after they came up just short in the 7th. The winning run was at the plate, but Venezuela unable to get the job done. That one on the ground to third. It's fielded cleanly. The throw to first in plenty of time, and the United States with 3 ground outs to end the first. We move to the bottom half of inning number 1, where Jones, Villani, and Machado are all due up after the break. Bottom half of inning number 1 getting set to begin. It's going to be Jones, Villani, Machado to lead things off for the United States. Alacia, Martinez, and Petrelli are 4, 5, 6. Flynn, Cartwright, and Bash round out this lineup. On the mound for Venezuela, it's going to be Jorwin Milan. Milan set. And the first pitch here in the bottom half of the first is a fastball off the dish, and the count at 1-0. Just tuning in, this is the 18U championship between the United States and Venezuela. Bottom half of inning number 1, Venezuela 1, 2, 3 in the first, 3 ground outs. As it's Jones, Villani, and Machado. For the United States, as that pitch is popped up behind the bleachers here. And so that one's going to go foul. So Jones, Villani, Machado. McCormick is going to be the cleanup spot, followed by Alacia and Martinez. Then it's Petrelli, Flynn, Cartwright, and Bash. Thank you to everyone who's joining us here in the broadcast. G. Spida asking, why didn't we stream the 12U Bahamas game? Unfortunately, the Bahamas are playing at the stadium in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. So the games today, the 2 championship games today here at the main stadium. The main championship for the 12U is tomorrow. We will be broadcasting that game. I believe the Bahamas are still fighting for a spot in the championship game today. So if the Bahamas make it to the championship tomorrow, it will be broadcasted live. That's Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But today was the 15 and 18U championships here at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. Had to get the bullpen wall closed, and now we're back to play. As that one's hit in the air to center, it's going to hang up in the air long enough for the center fielder to make the catch, and that's going to be the first out here in the bottom half of inning number 1. So a fly out to lead it off for Venezuela. It's going to bring Villani, the shortstop, to the plate. He's going to hit that first pitch in the air. Over to left. Left fielder racing to grab it, but it's going to go off the netting. And it's going to be a foul ball. Count now at 0-1. One out here in the bottom of the first. Milan set. A 1 pitch is in the dirt, and the count even now at 1-1. So Villani, Machado, and McCormick due up. One out here in inning number 1. That pitch on the ground at first. First baseman going to take it himself. And that's going to be the second out here in the bottom of inning number 1. So a 3 unassisted will bring Machado to the plate, as we'll take a look here at Venezuela's defensive lineup. From left to right in the outfield, it's going to be Larry Rodriguez, Brandon Garcias, and Jacob Bosabe. Across the diamond at third is going to be Alberton Alvarez, the shortstop Angel Porras, the second baseman Juan Ledesma, and at first will be Juan Jacado. Doing the catching duties for Venezuela will be Fabian Hortodo. And once again on the mound is Jorwin Milan. That pitch in the dirt. Milan, a small righty. As he fires that fastball in, it's low and away. Here comes a 3-0. And that's a fastball in there for a strike. So 3-1 now. 2 outs, bottom half of inning number 1. Center fielder Machado at the plate. There's a swing and a miss. And the count now full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom half of inning number 1. Milan set and deals. It's a curveball. That one's going to be hit right at the first baseman on the line. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it here in the bottom half of the first. We're tied after 1. Top half of inning number 2 after the break. Top half of inning number 2. First pitch in the dirt from Velasquez. This is Blanco at the plate, the designated hitter for Venezuela. 1-0 count. No outs here in the second. Two 2-0. Still scoreless. If you're just tuning in, 3 groundouts for Venezuela in the first. Fly out, ground out, and a line out for United States. So still looking for our first base runner, as that one swung on and missed. Velasquez set. As he fires a fastball in the dirt. Top half inning number 2. Perfect weather conditions for baseball here at this 18U championship between Venezuela and the United States. As there's a 5-pitch walk to Hein Blanco, and that will be the first base runner in this championship match. So Blanco reaches on the walk. It's going to bring up Alejandro Ponte to the plate. He's the extra hitter for Venezuela. One of 2 extra hitters in this lineup. So Venezuela opting to bat 11, the United States batting 10. Velasquez set. First pitch is in for strike 1. Blanco at first. No outs in the second. There's a pitch that's hit high in the air to dead center field. And that's going to be the first out here in the second. So 1 down and 1 on for Fon Wrestley. This is the second extra hitter in the lineup for Venezuela. As they look to get on the board first here in inning number 2. First pitch, check swing, but does not matter. Called strike 1. And the count at 0-1. That pitch is going to go off the helmet of Wrestley. Hopefully he's okay. He appears to be all right. And so that'll put runners on first and second now. And I'll bring up Fabian Hurtado to the plate. Hurtado, the catcher in this one. As Wrestley walks it off. And we'll get a cheer from his Venezuelan crowd as he's okay. So Ponte flew out. That's the lone out in this inning, but it's Blanco at second and Wrestley at first, with Fabian Hurtado at the plate. United States with a mound visit as they look to get out of this early game jam. Time back in play. Velasquez comes set. First pitch to Hurtado is in the dirt, and the count now at 1-0. 1-0 count. 2 runners on here for Venezuela. And Velasquez will call for his catcher, Alacia, to discuss with the runner on second. Going to change up the signs. Want to know the count. Big lead at second. Velasquez looks him back and fires home, but it's off the mark. And the count now at 2-0. Velasquez set. 2 balls, no strikes. That pitch is low and away. And so trouble already for the United States. It's 3-0 to Hurtado. Runners on first and second with 1 out. A walk would load the bases. You'd have to imagine that Hurtado has the green light here. 3-0 pitch is a fastball. Doesn't swing. So 3-1 count now as Velasquez able to get back in the strike zone. Still needs to fight for 2 more pitches here. 1 out, inning number 2. Runners on first and second. It's Restle and Blanco. The 3-1 pitch is on the ground, but foul. And the count now full at 3-2. Blanco at second. He's been bouncing on and off the bag. Trying to get in Velasquez's head. As a couple of arms start to jog to the bullpen for the United States. Winner takes all. This is 1-game championship. There is no tomorrow. So the United States will look to limit any damage they can. Blanco at second with a good lead. That pitch in the dirt, and the bases are now loaded. Still only 1 out. And it's going to be Alberton Alvarez at the plate. So the United States will send a couple of arms to the bullpen to get loose. Still only 1 out. And the first real opportunity for Venezuela in this one. Hurtado at first, Restle at second, Blanco the runner at third, Alvarez at the plate. This is the third baseman for Venezuela as a speed-up runner for the catcher will enter at first base. First pitch, that one skips up to the plate, so the count at 1-0. Corners are playing up, middle infield at double play depth. 1 out here in the second. Bases loaded for Venezuela. There's a fastball that finds the outside corner, and the count now at 1-strike. So early innings trouble for the United States in this one. Velasquez comes set. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled off. So Velasquez now able to get ahead in the count. Ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the second. If you're just joining us today, this is the 18-year-old championship of the World Cup of Palm Beaches tournament between Team Venezuela and Team United States. 1-2 pitch on the outside corner. It's called strike 3. So a huge second out for the United States, as the corners will now play back. So infield back to normal depth. It's going to be Juan Giacato, the first baseman, who will look to bring home the first run of the game for Venezuela. As that pitch is popped up, headed towards the dugout, and that'll go out of play. So Velasquez looks much more settled in. After a pair of walks, back-to-back, and a walk to start the inning, which have loaded these bases. 0-1 count on Giacato. Bag still juice as Velasquez comes set. Blanco with a good lead at third. There's an off-speed pitch that's low and in. And the count now at 1-1. Excuse me, 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded for Venezuela here in the top of the second. Velasquez comes set. The 1-2. That one swung on and missed. And that's the second strike. I thought there was 2 strikes on Giacato, but 2 strikes now. Ball and 2 strikes. I was initially right. I thought I heard 2 strikes from the home plate umpire, but the count now at 1-2. Velasquez set. The 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled off. And so we'll do it again. Juan Giacato at the plate. Tied ball game here in the top of the second, but Venezuela with the bases loaded. Velasquez set. The 1-2. That one's in the dirt, and the count even now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Inning number 2. The bullpen for the United States has gone quiet. As there's a fastball that's up and out. And now the count full. There is now a pitcher just tossing a ball in the bullpen for the U.S. Runners will be on the move. It's 3-2 with 2 outs here in the second, and the bases loaded for Venezuela. So a pickoff move. Velasquez will reset, now back on the mound. The 3-2 pitch. That one's on the air to second. It's a liner, but it's caught. And Velasquez will escape the danger. It was 3 walks in the inning, but the United States able to strand 3 runners on no hits. We move to the bottom half of the second. It'll be McCormick, Alacia, and Martinez due up after the break. Bottom half of inning number 2. The United States managing to escape danger in that top half of the inning. It was 3 walks that loaded the bases for Venezuela, but Velasquez able to get out of it, and now it's McCormick, Alacia, and Martinez due up for the U.S. First pitch taken for strike 1, so Milan right back to work. It was a fly out, ground out, and line out for the U.S. in inning number 1. As that pitch is inside, and the count now at 1-1. This U.S. team already one impressive victory under their belt here at the main stadium. It's an 11-3 win over Mexico. As that's a shot down the line and left. If it stays fair, it'd be extra bases, but the ball goes foul. And the count now at 1-2. So McCormick just missed a stand-up double by about 1.5 feet. 1-2 count now. Milan looking for his first strikeout in this one. He comes set. 1-2 pitch. That one's on the ground. It'll go to the second baseman. Throw over to first is in time. And that'll be the first out here in bottom half of inning number 2. And the catcher now, Alacia, up to the plate. First at bat here in the championship game for Alacia. As he'll take a fastball in the dirt, and the count now at 1-0. So ball and no strikes. 1 out here in inning number 2. The United States still looking for their first base runner of the game. That pitch is in there for a strike, and the count even now to ball and a strike. 1-1 on Alacia, the catcher for the United States. Milan set. There's a curveball, big swing and a miss. And Milan ahead in the count now, 1-2. And the Venezuelan crowd comes alive. A sizable showing for Team Venezuela today. Their 15U team unable to get the job done as the United States winning 4-3 as that ball is down the line but foul. And now in the 18U game, it's tied at 0 here in the bottom half of the second. One out, inning number 2. 2 strikes on Alacia. Here's the pitch. That one on the ground, but fouled off once again. So still 2 strikes on Alacia. 1 out here in the second. The United States still without a base runner early in this one. Here comes the pitch. That one is swung on and missed, but the ball will get to the backstop. And so it's a strikeout for Alacia, but he will reach first as the ball skipped away from the catcher. Now, Alisea, the catcher, will have a speed-up runner with one out here in the second. So a tough break for Venezuela. Would have been out number 2 of the inning. But it's instead a strikeout and a pass ball to put Alisea on first. Milan set. First pitch is popped up. And it's foul and headed towards the bleachers. And so the count at 0-1. This is the right fielder, Martinez. Check on the runner at first, but he's back safely. As that one swung on and missed. So 2 strikes now on Martinez. Milan set. Here's a 2-strike pitch. That one swung on and missed. There's a runner at first, so it'll be a strikeout. And that'll be the second out here in the second inning. Two outs for Petrelli. Left fielder for the United States will take a fastball in the outside corner for strike number 1. So 0-1 on Petrelli. 2 outs here in the second as Milan will check on the runner at first, but he's back safely. Throw nearly gets away. There's a fastball. That one on the corner, and there's now 2 strikes on Petrelli. Milan set and deals. That fastball is off the dish. And the count now at 1-2. The speed-up runner for Alisea still at first. 2 outs here in the second. And that one's popped up in the air towards first. It'll be the first baseman who makes the catch. And that's going to do it here in the second. The United States strands a runner on the pass ball. And we are tied through 2. Third inning after the break. top half of inning number 3. It's Jacob Bosabe at the plate. First pitch fouled off on the count at 0-1. Again, this is Jacob Bosabe, the right fielder for Venezuela. Curveball, it's going to skip away in the count now at 1-1. Ball and a strike here in the top half of the third. Velasquez still on the mound for the United States. As that pitch is taken for a ball in the count now at 2-1. Two-one pitch. That one's in, and it's 3-1 now on Bosabe. Velasquez set. 3-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. And so it's now a full count on Jacob Bosabe. Three-two pitch. That is in the dirt. And it's going to be a leadoff walk for Venezuela. So the control issues continue here in the third for Velasquez. That's already his 4th walk in just 2+ innings of work. Bunt attempt. That one's fouled off. So the count at 0-1. This is Juan Ledesma at the plate. It's Ledesma, then back to the top of the lineup for Venezuela. No outs. Leadoff man aboard. As that bunt attempt is in the dirt. The throw's going to go to second, and it's in time. Just a sac bunt attempt, but Bosabe got too far off the base. And that's going to be an out. And we'll clear the bases now. So a base running mistake. And the United States able to catch a break. That one's going to go to the shortstop who makes the play, tries to make a long throw. And that's going to be an infield single. So Ledesma able to leg it out. Good job by number 13, the shortstop. That's Villani to keep that ball in the infield. As the lineup card flips back over, it's going to be Angel Porras at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Porras grounded out to shortstop to lead off the ball game. First pitch in there for a strike. So 1 on and 1 out. Here in the top half of the third, it's a righty now actually getting loose in the bullpen for the United States. As that ball's on the ground, a second. Flip over to second for 1. That was closer than it should have been. And it's just going to be a fielder's choice. Ball took a weird in-between hop, and the second baseman had to play it deep in the hole over there in the middle infield, but was able to flip out Ledesma at second for the out. So a fielder's choice will put 2 outs on the board, as it'll be Brandon Garcias now at the plate with 2 outs. Porras at first. The shortstop is speedy. Decent lead at first, doesn't take off, and that pitch in the dirt. Velasquez looking to get out the inning. There's 2 outs. There's a throw that will get away from the first baseman as a pickoff move, but not far enough for Porras to advance. Still 2 outs here in the third. Here's the pitch. Fastball's upstairs. And so the count now at 3-0. Velasquez comes set. That fastball on the corner, and the count now at 3-1. Garcias is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out back in the first inning, as that's going to be ball 4. Garcias wasn't even set at the plate. He was holding his hand out for time. That was a free pitch for Velasquez, but he skips it in the dirt. And so another walk will bring Larry Rodriguez to the plate. And that might be it. Looks like Coach Todd has seen enough. He's going out to the mound, and he will make the change. So 2 2/3 innings of work for Velasquez, as he will come out here in inning number 3, responsible for Garcias at first and Porras at second. We're going to take a quick break in the booth. Be back right after the pitching change. Now coming into pitch for the United States, it's going to be Juan Bonda. So he will relieve Velasquez here in the third. Garcias at first, Porras at second. Both teams fighting for an 18U championship here at the World Cups of Palm Beaches. Time back in play. It's Larry Rodriguez, the left fielder at the plate. He's 0 for 1 as a curveball to start things off for Bonda. And the count at 0 and 1. One strike to Rodriguez, 2 outs here in the third. Venezuela with runners on first and second. A walk led off the inning, but Bosabe was thrown out as there's the second curveball of the at-bat. Count now at 0 and 2. Bosabe led the inning off with a walk, was then picked off after a bunt attempt by Ledesma was unsuccessful. That was the first out of the inning. Then Ledesma was able to single, infield single to the shortstop before Angel Porras hit into a fielder's choice for the second out of the inning, and Garcias was walked. So Porras at second, Garcias at first. 2 outs here in the third. Again, Bonda, the new pitcher. He's ahead in the count 0 and 2 to Rodriguez after a pair of curveballs dropped in for strikes. Bonda set. 0-2. That one's on the corner. 1-2-3 for Bonda. And he gets the strikeout. That's going to do it in the top of the third. Venezuela strands 2 on a pair of walks and a base hit. We'll be back for the bottom of the third. It's the United States after this. Bottom half of inning number 3. It's going to be Flynn, Cartwright, and Bash for the United States. As that first pitch from Milan off the dish, and the count now at 1-0. 2 innings now for Venezuela, where they had a runner in scoring position and could not bring him home to score. As that one's hit deep in the air to left. That one's off the base of the wall. And Flynn will slide into second. It's going to be a leadoff double for the United States. That's their first base hit here in this championship match. And that's going to bring the third baseman Cartwright to the plate. So 1 on, no outs here in the third. United States looking to strike first, as this will be the first real test for Milan. First pitch high and in. Count at 1-0. That fastball in for a strike. So count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs here in the bottom half of inning number 3. A leadoff double for Flynn for the United States. Their first hit in this one. Their first runner in scoring position. As that pitch is in the dirt, and the count now at 2-1. Milan with 2 strikeouts so far. Has done a good job so far the first time around through this lineup. Cartwright swings and misses through that one, so the count now at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball, that one's fouled off. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs here in the third. Milan set. Small lead for Flynn at second. That one in there. And Cartwright will be sent down looking. 1 out now in the third. And that's going to bring up to the plate the designated hitter, Bash. It's the final hitter in this U.S. lineup before it flips back over to Jones. First pitch off speed in the dirt, and the count at 1-0. Milan trying to work around a leadoff double by Flynn. Milan set. Fastball's off, and the count now at 2-0. There's an off-speed pitch that's on the ground. Flynn will advance to third. The throw to first is in time, so it's going to be a 4-3 ground out. 6-3 ground out for Bash. But he will advance Flynn to third. So 2 outs now. It's going to be Jones, the second baseman, at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with the flyout. First pitch taken for a ball. 1-0 count on Jones. It's Flynn at third. He doubled to lead off the inning and advanced to third on that ground out. Milan comes set. trying to work around that leadoff double. Curveball, that one's in there for a strike. So Milan now starting to mix in the off-speed pitch as the count is at 2-1. As that pitch is fouled back, and now it's 2-2. Time is called. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jones, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Flynn with the leadoff double. He's at third base after the ground out. Milan looking to strike out Jones and end the inning. As he comes set. Here's the pitch. Oh, fastball. That one is behind Jones. And so the count full now at 3-2. Milan looked like he reared back and throw that fastball as hard as he could. Lucky he didn't go to the backstop. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now. 2 outs, bottom of the third. 18U championship. This game's scheduled for 7 innings. There's an off-speed pitch that Jones will foul off. And so the count will remain at 3-2. Milan set. Here's the pitch. Curveball. That one off the diving glove of the third baseman. It's going to roll into the outfield, and the United States will take their first lead of the game. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. So it'll be a single for Jones. And the U.S. will take a 1-0 lead. As that's going to bring up the shortstop, Villani. He's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out back in the first. Runner on the move. It was a delayed steal. And no one was covering the bag. So Jones will advance to second. Still 2 outs. 0-1 count on Villani. Pitch from Milan. Fastball, that one's outside. And a ball and a strike to the United States shortstop, Villani. One pitch in the dirt, and the count now at 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Milan deals. It's a fastball. And the count now at 2-2. Milan will step off. Jones at second. He reached on a single and stole second base. So 2 outs and a man aboard for Villani. Here's the pitch. Fastball's way out. So the count will go full. Milan set. Pitch on the way. That one's in the air to left. Left fielder's under it, and he makes the catch for the third out here in inning number 3. The United States will strand the runner on second, but they're able to pick up the first run of the game with a double off the bat of Flynn. Through 3, they lead it. It's 1-0 United States. Top of the 4th. It's going to be Hein Blanco, Alejandro Ponte, and Fon Rosselli due up for Venezuela as they now find themselves trailing by 1 through 3. It's been all Venezuela so far before the United States were able to open up the scoring. Venezuela unable to capitalize in the second and the third. They had bases loaded in inning number 2, and they had runners on in the third. Blanco takes that first pitch for a strike. So 0-1 count. Change up. And Bonda able to get ahead in the count now, 0-2. He's been great since coming out of the bullpen for Velasquez. That pitch popped up in the air towards foul grounds. The catcher able to glove it. And so Blanco will be set down. And that's going to be the first out here in the 4th. It's Alejandro Ponte at the plate. 0 for 1 today. He fouls that first pitch back. Oh, 1 pitch. Change up. That one's taken for strike 2. Oh, 2 from Bonda. That one is fouled up and out of play. So it's still 2 strikes. Bonda set. Comes a 2-strike pitch. Fouled back. So Ponte fighting to stay alive. Two strikes. Curveball. That one's in there. And Ponte will be set down looking. That's the second out here in the fourth. Bonda has looked great out the bullpen so far for the United States, as he's now set to face Fawn Resley. Resley was walked in his first plate appearance. As that pitch is swung on and missed. Fouled into the catcher's glove, so 0-1 count. Curveball, that's a beauty. And it's now 0-2. Ronda looking to get a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the corner. And Juan Bonda able to pick up 2 strikeouts in the inning. That'll do it here in the top of the fourth. It'll be Machado, McCormick, and Malaysia for the United States after this. Bottom half of the fourth, it's Machado, McCormick, and Malaysia for the United States. They lead it 1-0 as there's a bunt attempt. That one's popped up. The catcher with an opportunity to catch it, but it's going to drop right in front of his feet. And so the count at 0-1. Machado lined out back in the first. United States leading by 1 here in the fourth. As Milan set, curveball. That one on the corner. Going to be called strike 3. So Machado set down on strikes. And that's the first out in the bottom of the fourth. United States carrying a 1-run lead. Looking for an insurance run as we begin to move through the later portion of this game. As that first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 fastballs off the dish. And the count even now at 1-1. This is McCormick at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out back in the second. As a curveball is on the ground to third, field it cleanly. The throw over to first is in time, and that's the second out for the United States. So 2 outs now, as the catcher Alacia will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Alacia struck out back in the first. He struck out back in his first plate appearance, but reached base safely on the pass ball. First pitch outside, and the count now at 1-0. Venezuelan crowd trying to get the team back in the game as the cheers begin to pick up. There's a curveball. That one's in there for a strike. 1-1 now. As that pitch drops in for strike 2, so a ball and 2 strikes. Milan has been excellent so far today. It was the double and the single in the third that gave the United States a 1-run lead. But other than that, Milan has been solid through 3 2/3. As that one on the ground, that was ripped. It's going to get past the diving glove of the third baseman, and it's going to be a hard hit single for Alacia, as he will be on first with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. So it's Alacia at first, Martinez at the plate, as that first pitch will skip in for a ball. So 1-0 count on Martinez, as clouds have now completely covered the field. So 1-0, 2 outs, as that pitch is fouled off. A good curveball there by Milan. United States leading by 1 here in the 4th. Milan set. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball that's flared out to center field. Center fielder's under it, and he'll make the catch. And that's going to do it here through 4. Milan able to work out around that 2-out single. It's the United States leading by 1. We'll be back for the top of the 5th after the break. Top half of inning number 5. It's going to be Fabian Hurtado, Abelton Alvarez, and Juan Chicado to lead things off for Venezuela here in the 5th. First pitch taken for a ball. And the count now at 1-0. Bonda still on the mound. As that fastball's upstairs. Hurtado still looking for his first at-bat. He was walked in his first plate appearance. As that pitch is fouled straight back. Two and one now. Tight game in this one. 1-0 United States. As that fastball gets away from Bonda, and it's 3-1 now. Three balls and a strike to Hurtado. This is the catcher for Venezuela. As Bonda set and deals. That pitch hit out to left. Fielder's under it, and he makes the catch. That's the first out here in the 5th. So with one out and nobody aboard, Albertron Alvarez will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. First pitch taken for a ball. One-0 pitch is swung on and missed. So a ball and a strike. One out here in the 5th. Bonda set. Curveballs upstairs, and the count now at 2-1. If you're just joining in, this is the 18U Championship here at the World Comes to Palm Beaches. The United States leading over Venezuela 1-0 here in the 5th. 7-inning matchup. It's Alberton Alvarez at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he's ahead in the count here, 3-1. So Bonda once again set. Three-one pitch is a fastball. That one's in there for strike 2. Three balls, 2 strikes. One out here in inning number 5 for Venezuela. As that one's popped up. First baseman headed towards the dugout, and he will run out of room. Crashes into the dugout wall. And so the count will remain at 3-2. Appears to be in some pain. Still 3-2. Bonda set. That one's outside. And that's going to be a walk. So Venezuela will have a base runner here in the 5th. And it'll be Juan Gicato, the first baseman for Venezuela now. Bonda set. It's a curveball. That one's hit the other way. That's going to drop into the outfield as a base hit. Alvarez will be held at second. Runners now at second and first with one out for Team Venezuela, as action will now begin in the bullpen for the United States. It's Gicato at first, Alvarez at second. One out, inning number 5. Bosabe at the plate. He was walked in his first appearance. Bonda set. Fastball in the corner. That one's in there for a strike. Oh and 1 on Bosabe. This is the right fielder for Venezuela. Oh, 1 pitch is swung on and missed. So Bonda way ahead now. 0-2 the count. One out here in the top half of inning number 5. Tying run for Venezuela at second. Oh, 2 pitch. It's a curveball. It's off the plate. So 1-2 now. Bonda set. Here's the 1-2. Fastball's upstairs. And the count now at 2-2. This has been the best opportunity for Venezuela to score since Juan Bonda has entered the game out the bullpen. He's been shut down so far for the United States. But it's a walk and a base hit with one out here in the 5th that has put runners on first and second with one out. 2-2 pitch. That one swung on and missed. So Bosabe is set down on strikes, and Bonda is now one out away from getting out of this jam here in inning number 5. The United States clinging on to a 1-run lead. And it'll be Juan Ledesma who will try to extend this inning for Venezuela. He's 1 for 1 today with an infield single. First pitch. Oh, what a nasty curveball there. Bonda will lock Ledesma up, and the count at 0-1. 2 outs here in the 5th. Pitch from Bonda. That one's there on the corner, and the count now at 0-2. 2 outs here in inning number 5. United States holding on to a 1-run lead. Ledesma trying to extend the inning. Venezuela with the tying run at second. A walk for Alvarez. He's at second. And Giacomo at first with the base hit. Here's a 2-strike pitch. That one swung on and missed. And the U.S. is able to get out of it once again. Venezuela strands 2. We move to the bottom half of inning number 5 after the break. Bottom half of inning number 5. It's Petrelli at the plate. He leads things off as Jorwin Milan still out on the mound for Venezuela. 4 innings of work, just a 1 run so far. As 2 fastballs off the plate and the count at 2-0. 1-0 United States. Venezuela has had the bases loaded, has had runners on first and second in 2 innings, and has not been able to capitalize on any of their chances. It's a 2-1 count on Petrelli. As that one's on the ground to short, that's going to get past the glove of the shortstop, and Petrelli will have himself a base hit. So he'll move for 2 on the night, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Flynn. Flynn's 1 for 1. He hit the double to the outfield wall, would later come around to score the only run of the game. No outs here in the 5th. United States with the leadoff man of the inning on first. As there's a curveball that's in for a strike. So 0-1 on Flynn. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count now at 0-2. The left fielder, not on your screen, is playing deep left field and shaded heavily towards the line. There's a big gap in left center as the center fielder is playing straight up. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, so it won't matter. Flynn's going to be set down on strikes for the first out here in the 5th. And there's now 1 out for the third baseman, Cartwright. That's the 5th strikeout for Milan through 4 1/3 inning of work. Oh, Cartwright's going to get hit. That one near his helmet area. It looks like it got him on the wrist. So runners on first and second now. 1 out. And it's going to be Bash, the designated hitter, at the plate. Bash is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch in for a strike. So 0-1 count on Bash. As there's a curveball in the dirt, and the count even now at 1-1. One pitch in the dirt. G Spider, yes, we are going to stream the 12U Championship. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. 12U Championship is tomorrow at 10 a.m. That ball's going to get away. The throw to third, not in time. Great job by the third baseman just to keep it in front of him. And so the count at 3-1. Runners on second and third, and that's going to bring the infield in for Venezuela. That fastball's in for a strike. So 3-2 now. That one swung on and fouled off. Three and two, 1 out. Venezuela trailing by 1, trying to keep this a 1-run game. The United States looking for some insurance runs. And there's a foul ball. So Bash just barely able to stay alive, as the count will remain 3-2. Three-two pitch is popped up in the air. Second baseman calling for it. He makes the catch. And so that'll be the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here in the 5th. The lineup card's going to flip back over. It'll be Jones, the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. Flew out and singled in his first and second plate appearance. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. So 1-0 count. That pitch on the corner. It's now 1-1. Curveball, that one's in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Venezuela a pitch away from getting out of this jam. Milan set. The 1-2 fastball, that one's upstairs. And the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One of the most intense moments of the game so far. Venezuela trying to keep this a 1-run game. As that pitch skips away from the catcher, it's now 3-2. There's a 3-2 pitch. That one in the air to right, but it'll drop foul. So still 2 strikes on Jones. Two outs here in the 5th. United States looking to extend their lead. That pitch in the dirt. And the bases are now loaded for the shortstop Villani. A base hit from Petrelli. He's at third. A walk to Cartwright at second. And the walk to Jones. And the bases are now loaded. 2 outs here in the 5th. It's a curveball. That went in there for strike 1 as the throwback from the catcher nearly got away from the pitcher. 0-1. Villani at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a fly out. 0-1 pitch is in the air. That's going to fall in right. 1 runs in to score. Right fielder bobbles the ball. The throw will come home, but it's cut off. And it's a 2-run single for Villani. That will make it 3-0 United States. So 2 big insurance runs for the U.S. It'll put runners on the corners with 2 outs. And some cheers from the United States crowd. So it's now 3-0. Villani's at first. Jones is at third. Jones tried to run home, but there was time called. So Jones back at third. Villani at first, 2 outs. United States now leading 3-0 as they look to sweep the day in championship play. The 15-year-old United States team defeating 15-year-old Venezuela. As that throw is going to get away on the pickoff, and it's going to be the 4th run for the United States. And the U.S. now leading by 4. An unnecessary error there by Venezuela. Makes it 4-0 in the 5th. That pitch by Milan's hit deep in the air to right, but foul. Machado at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Hit a liner back in the 1st inning. That pitch also scorched down the line, but that one fouled off just about the same spot. Machado really seeing the ball well. Milan's got him on 2 strikes. But Machado has the power to put the ball out of the yard. Has to be careful. Milan set. 2-strike pitch. Fastball goes to the backstop. And Villani will advance to second. So another run in scoring position for the United States. They've brought home 3 runs already here in this 5th inning. As it's now 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Milan set. 2-strike pitch. That one also gets to the backstop. And so Villani now at third. Pitcher getting warmed up for Venezuela in the bullpen. You would have to assume that Milan's really on a short leash now, and this might be it. We're going to have a mound visit. Might be giving the bullpen arm some time to get loose. So we won't go anywhere just yet here in the booth. Just a quick explanation of how this inning unfolded. It was Petrelli that led things off with a single. Flynn struck out. Cartwright was walked. Put runners on first and second. Bash flew out. Jones was walked and Villani with the single. And this is now a 4-0 game. So Milan behind in the count. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off. Two outs here in the 5th. The United States have now opened up a 4-run lead. I believe the count's at 2-2. Here's the pitch. That fastball outside. And it's now full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on Machado. Villani at third. Here's the pitch. It's away, and the ball gets away. Catcher can't find it. And so that'll make it a 5-0 game. And that'll probably be it for Milan in this one. So Machado reaches on a walk. McCormick now at the plate. He's 0 for 2. But we'll have a break in the action as Venezuela will go to the bullpen. 4 runs in here for the United States in the 5th inning. They've opened it up. We're going to take a break in the booth as the bullpen arm gets warm. And we'll be back for more action here in the bottom of the 5th after this. Welcome back to the bottom of the fifth. Jotan Monroy now on the mound for Venezuela as they now trail 5-0 against the United States. McCormick at the plate. He's going to ground the ball to second, flip over to the bag, and that's going to do it here in the fifth. So Monroy, 1 pitch, 1 out, gets him out of the inning, but the United States able to put 4 runs on the board, and it's now Venezuela in the top of the sixth with 6 outs to play with. They trail by 5. Top half of the sixth, the United States going to their setup man. It's Brandon Morrison. First pitch from Morrison's going to go to the backstop and the count at 1-0. So ball and no strikes. That fastball's inside. Angel Porras at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out and a fielder's choice. As there's a fastball that's in for a strike. So 2-1 the count. United States leading by 5. Venezuela only have 6 outs to work with. And now you can make that 5. As that soft line drive is caught by the second baseman. And that'll be the first out. Here in the sixth. 1 out, no one on. It's Brandon Garcias at the plate. Garcias is 0 for 1 with a walk. As he'll take a curveball. That one's in there for a strike. So 0-1 count. Morrison set and deals. Fastball's upstairs, and the count even now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the 6th. That one will skip up in the dirt, and the count now at 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. United States leading by 5 here in this 18U championship match. Pitch from Morrison's in there, and the count now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Morrison set. That one in the air to left. That ball's hanging in the air, but it's going to drop. Garcias around first, and he's into second with a stand-up double. So a 1-out double for Garcias here in the 6th. And there's some life for Venezuela. Trail by 5 here in this championship match. It's Larry Rodriguez at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. A reliever getting warm for the United States. It's a righty in the bullpen. Morrison set. First pitch. That's a curveball that's swung on and missed by Rodriguez. And the count at 0-1. Morrison set once again. 0-1 count. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Another curveball that's swung on and missed. And Rodriguez now behind the count 0-2. Two strikes. Pitch from Morrison. That one's waved at. And 3 curveballs. And that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning. And Venezuela is now down to their final 4 outs of the ball game. So that'll bring up Hayne Blanco to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Walked and flew out so far in this championship game. Garcias at second. Venezuela still looking for their first run. They trail by 5. First pitch, big swing and a miss from Blanco, and the count now at 0-1. One strike on Blanco. Here comes the pitch. That one's in the dirt, and it's now 1-1. Morrison comes set. That pitch fouled off by Blanco. So still 2 strikes, 2 outs. Morrison looking to get out of the inning. It's Garcias at second. He hit the double. Here's the pitch. Blanco's going to pop that one up It's going to be Morrison who makes the catch, and the United States is an inning away from winning the 18U World Comes to Palm Beaches Championship. We'll move to the bottom of the sixth. The U.S. will look to add more runs after this. Bottom half of inning number 6. The United States leads it by 5, as Alacia will look at that fastball in for a strike. It's Alacia, Martinez, and Petrelli due up for the United States. 7-inning game. So any runs scored here in the 6th inning would just be added insurance for the U.S. Alacia behind the count. It's 0-2. Monroy on the mound as as Alacia will swing and miss at that one. So that'll be the first out here in the 6th. The United States 15U team already defeating the 15U Venezuelan team in the first championship matchup here at the main stadium of the ballpark of the Palm Beaches. And the U.S. looking to add a second ring on the day. I pitch in there for a strike. And they count now at 1-1. That pitch popped up in the air. It's straight up. Catcher comes out and drops the ball. And so an error from the catcher there will allow Martinez to reach first safely. So now 1 out and 1 on for the United States. It'll be Petrelli at the plate. 1 for 2 today. Singled in his second plate appearance. He popped out back in his first appearance as he fouls that one off for strike number 1. 0-1 count to Petrelli. 1 out on the board for the U.S. Monroy set and deals. That one's fouled back, and it's now 0-2. Monroy set. The 0-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt. It's going to get away from the catcher. But Martinez unable to advance to second. So 1-2 now. Monroy looking to work around the error. Still one out here in the sixth. The United States leading by 5. Ossie pitches fouled off. Monroy comes set. Still 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. That one inside. And the count now at 3-2 on Petrelli. Monroy set and deals. And Petrelli will fight all the way back. After being down in the count 0-2, it's a walk. And the U.S. now with runners on first and second with 1 out here in the sixth. Monroy set. That first pitch will be grounded foul. And the count at 0-1 now. Oh, 0-1 pitch from Monroy. It's going to be bounced right back towards the pitcher's mound. Monroy will set his feet and throw it over to first. And that's going to do it here in the sixth. So Flynn will ground out to Monroy. I apologize. That was the second out of the inning. So 2 outs now. We'll put runners on second and third. And it's going to be up to Cartwright to extend this inning for the United States as he swings and misses through that one. So 0-1 count. Cartwright 0 for 1 today with a walk. The U.S. with 2 runners in scoring position here in the sixth as a curveball will bounce in and even up the count at 1-1. It's the U.S. by 5 here in the championship. 18U play. As that one's hit in the air to center. Center fielder under it. And that will be the third out of the sixth. So it's going to come down to this. Venezuela chasing 5. They'll have 3 outs to work with in the seventh. U.S. leads it 5-0. top half of inning number 7, the United States just 3 outs away from sweeping here at the main stadium on this championship Saturday. It was the 15U team who came out victorious over Venezuela. Final score 4-3 in that one. And now the 18U United States lead it over the 18U team Venezuela 5-0 here in the 7th. It's Alejandro Ponte at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. That pitch in there for a strike. Three hits for this Venezuelan lineup so far. As that one on the ground. It's going to be a tough play for the second baseman, but he makes it look easy. And that's the first out here in the 7th. The United States now 2 outs away from a championship. First pitch swung on and missed. This is Fawn Russell at the plate. Russell 0 for 1 today with a walk. Oh, 1 pitch. That one right down Broadway, and the count now at 0-2. Trophy presentation to conclude this World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament. That's going to be right after the conclusion of this game. Trophies and rings will be distributed to the winners. One out here in the 7th. Russell looking to lean things off and get things going here for Venezuela. Comes the pitch from Morrison. That one is swung on and missed. That's going to be the second out. The strikeout for Morrison, and Venezuela is now down to their final out. It'll be up to Fabian Hurtado. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk. First pitch fouled back. It's now 0-1 on Hurtado. Oh, 1 pitch. Sliders in there. And now the United States is a strike away from winning the World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament 18U division. Morrison takes a breath. The 0-2 is off the dish, and so the U.S. will have to wait for another pitch if they want to win it. Ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Top half inning number 7. U.S. leading by 5. It's been a 3-hit shutout so far for Vasquez, Bonda, and Morrison. Hurtado at the plate, steps out, now back in. Ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Another off speed in the dirt. So 2-2 count now. Venezuela trying to extend this game. They trail by 5. Morrison set. 2-2 pitch. That one's in the air to left. And this ball game will continue. That's going to get all the way to the wall. going to be a double for Fabian Hurtado. And this game's not over just yet. A 2-out double will bring Alberton Alvarez to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Still plenty of work to do. But Venezuela now with the runner in scoring position. It'll be Alvarez at the plate. A pinch runner. It's going to be a speed-up runner, actually. Hurtado, the catcher for Venezuela. So Hurtado will come out. Alvarez will be at the plate. As Hurtado will exit to a plethora of cheers from the Venezuelan crowd. Crowd comes to life. Venezuela trying to get back into the game as an off-speed pitch is taken for ball 1. 1-0 count. 2 outs here in the 7th. United States trying to hold on. They have a 5-run lead with 2 outs here in the final inning of this 18U championship game. Morrison set. 1-0 pitch. That ball's in the air to right, and it's going to fall. The throw will go to third, and runners now on the corners. There was 2 outs. Not sure what the speed-up runner was doing. He should have been around home and scoring. But it doesn't matter, as there's now runners on the corners. And so a mound visit for the United States. As there's now some life for Venezuela. It'll be Juan Giacotto at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. As we're going to have a pitching change here. So it's going to be number 19 for the United States, who will come in and try to close this one out. Giacotto has hit the ball very well today. A line out and a single. As we're just going to take a break in the booth, I'll leave the camera on as we get set for a pitching change. So we're set to get things going once again. Top half of the 7th. Juan Giacato at the plate. He's 1 for 2, lined out and singled, as he'll face the righty with 2 outs here in the 7th and runners on the corners. Quick check on the runner at first, but he's back safely. First pitch to Giacato is upstairs, and the count at 1-0. Reaching the 2.5-hour mark in this one. One 1-0 count on Giacato. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that one's in there for a strike. And the count even now at 1-1. Pitcher set. Ball and a strike. That pitch to Giacato's inside. And the count now at 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. That one in the air. This could do it. The shortstop's under it. And the United States has swept on Championship Saturday here at the World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament. It was a 4-3 win for the 15U division and a 5-0 victory over Venezuela here in the 18U division. That's going to do it. It's all United States on this Saturday at the ballpark. What a well-managed game by the United States. Give credit to the head coach, Todd, going to his bullpen early, and it paid off. The U.S. out of several jams as they not only win this one, but they complete the shutout over Venezuela, and the U.S. is 4-0 on the weekend. So that'll do it, as the U.S. will be presented with the trophy and rings. One more broadcast tomorrow for this World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament. It's going to be the 12U championship game beginning at 10 a.m. Coverage moments before first pitch in that one. So make sure you're subscribed to CBO-TV as we continue to cover the World Comes to Palm Beaches tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Antonio Ponte. Going to sign off for tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow.